To explain it easily, they are basically a combination of materials like metals to polymers or vice versa, specifically to allow biomedical application like mimicking natural tissue for better biocompatibility and reduced rejection. The main selling point here is that they offer customizability and enhancement to allow typical biomaterial to be improved further that the material alone cannot provide. As mentioned earlier, they are a combination of two materials and divided into two: matrix, the main one, and reinforcement. As the name suggests, matrix is the main component of the composite, whereas the reinforcement is the material that will improve the property of the matrix. The material used in matrix and reinforcement can either be of the three main biomaterials: polymers, ceramics, metals. However, generally, polymers were the most researched for matrices due to their availability, and ceramics were commonly used for reinforcements due to their strengthening properties. Example here is PLA, which is one of the widely used polymers in medical application. 100% biodegradable, produces non-toxic degradation product, and biocompatible, a perfect properties for a biomaterial. However, PLA has very poor mechanical properties which are required in some medical application. So to get better results, we modified them. And an example of this is octadicylamine as a reinforcing material for PLA, and it was seen that the prepared composites exhibited better mechanical properties like better Young's modulus and better hardness compared to the native PLA. And as you can see in the figure, the peak properties is around 10% of the PLA added in the polymer. This makes the material useful in the tissue engineering compared to the native PLA alone. So, summary or recap, composites are made of two components: matrix, the main one, and reinforcement. And these two can be made out of the three either biomaterials. And even though reinforcement adds additional material, composites are classified based on them. For example, if the reinforcement is in the form of tiny microscopic granules, they are particle reinforced, which have different application from fiber reinforcement. Each classification has their own properties and specialties. For example, particle composites focuses on the distribution to improve the overall hardness or wear resistance of the composite. For fiber, it is more focused on tensile strength and stiffness. For structural, it is more focused on rigidity and layering of the material. So unlike the other biomaterials, the composite's property differ depending on the composition. However, the property of the composite are majorly influenced by the following: the matrix property like the molecular weight, grain size, or the mechanical property, stability or biodegradability, bioactivity, the volume percentage and property of the reinforcement, the distribution or the orientation of the reinforcement, like the fiber reinforced, particle reinforced, and structural, and lastly, reinforcement matrix interfacial state, specifically for the ceramics like the types, like for stress shielding. For example, when PLA are paired with medical clay like MMT as particle reinforced, the application becomes much better for drug delivery systems. The efficacy from the anti-neoplastic drug called the 6-mercaptopurine becomes much better when pairing MMT reinforced PLA. And as seen in the figure 2, the microcomposite shows a better inhibition rate for improving the reduction of the cell toxicity and in vitro drug release. The particle counterpart of the composite is much different if the reinforcement were to become a fiber. So another example is when PLA is reinforced by material like chitin fibers where their application now suits better for bone reinforcements or fillings. And the microcomposites prepared by chitin and PGA showed much lower Young's modulus and high ductility as compared than other polymers composites like calcium phosphate. And the figure 1 shows the overall process of the chitin reinforced PLA, and the composite showed a much higher tensile strength compared to other PLA film. So moving on, for the first application, we have tissue engineering. And in this application, polymers and ceramics are usually the one used. Why? It is because we want the properties of both materials. So for polymers, we want their biodegradability, their biocompatibility, and at the same time, we want to promote natural healing from the property of ceramics. which is why we can see materials like chitosan, a natural polymer, and hydroxyapatite ceramics for reinforcement together. And together, we have a material that can be biodegradable at a certain amount of time, a sufficient stress shielding to enable cell growth, becoming a type 4 resorbable material. And other materials are strontium alloy for osteogenesis and stem cells for angiogenesis, bioglass for bioactivity, and PMMA as the matrix.
Now let us move on to the biocomposites used in tissue engineering. Biocomposites are revolutionizing tissue engineering by offering biomimetic solutions to critical repair challenges. These biocompatible materials address limitations in current therapies. Bone regeneration is bolstered by collagen hydroxyapatite composites. Collagen's structural mimicry of the extracellular matrix optimizes cell adhesion, proliferation, and differentiation, ultimately promoting bone repair. Hydroxyapatite's bioactivity and mechanical strength, similar to bone mineral, further enhances this process. These composites hold promises for bone implants and grafts. On the other hand, skin regeneration and wound healing benefit from fibrin gelatin composites. Fibrin, derived from blood, mimics natural clotting, fostering cell attachment and migration. Gelatin strengthens the scaffold for improved stability. Additionally, their biocompatibility and biodegradability minimize adverse reactions within the body. Polycaprolactone chitosan composites offer versatility. PCL provides long-term stability, while chitosan's biocompatibility and cell adhesion properties make it ideal for scaffolds and regenerative medicine. Next, cartilage tissue engineering finds promise in the PLGA alginate composite. PLGA mimics the natural cartilage matrix by offering mechanical support, while alginate fosters a hydrated environment ideal for chondrocyte growth and differentiation. This composite offers a balanced approach to cartilage regeneration. Lastly, fibroid hyalur- Lastly, silk fibro and hyaluronic acid composites emerge as potential candidates for skin tissue engineering. Silk fibrin offer exceptional mechanical strength and biocompatibility, providing essential structural support. Hyaluronic acid, a natural extracellular matrix component, contributes to enhanced cell proliferation and hydration. This combination effectively promotes tissue regeneration and wound repair. Biocomposites represent a significant advancement in regenerative medicine. Their ability to mimic natural tissues and promote cell function paves the way for improved treatments for various tissue injuries and diseases. Let us move on to the application of biocomposites in implantable devices. Biocomposites are revolutionizing implantable devices by offering a trifecta of desirable properties. Number one is the mechanical strength. They provide long-term structural support crucial for enduring implants. Next is enhanced biocompatibility. These materials minimize adverse tissue reactions, reducing implant rejection risks. And lastly is promoted tissue growth. Certain biocomposites actively stimulate bone regeneration, accelerating healing. Hydroxyapatite reinforced composites are a prime examples. These mimic natural bone by combining hydroxyapatite, a calcium apatite mineral, with a polymer matrix. This unique structure makes them ideal for bone plates, promoting osseointegration, which is the fusion of implant with surrounding bone, leading to faster healing and improved stability. An example of this is the nanohydroxyapatite polyamide bone plate. Next, we have polymer ceramic biocomposites. These innovative materials combine bioceramics like calcium phosphate, which is a with biodegradable polymers. Primarily used in bone tissue engineering, they function as scaffolds. As new bone forms, these scaffolds biodegrades, seamlessly aligning with the body's healing process. The bioceramics within the scaffold actively promote bone growth, making them a compelling option for bone repair and regeneration. Lastly is the titanium polymer composites. These composites offer the best of both worlds. They combine the exceptional mechanical strength and corrosion resistance of titanium with the biocompatibility and flexibility of polymers like PEEK, PEEK, or the polyether ketone. This reduces stress shielding, a complication where the surrounding bone weakens due to implant rigidity. Improved implant performance and longevity translate to better patient outcomes and quality of life. An example of this type of composite is the titanium peak composite interbody cage, typically used in anterior cervical discectomy and fusion. Lastly, let's discuss the drug delivery applications of biocomposites. Current drug delivery methods often face limitations in controlled release and targeted therapy. Biocomposite drug delivery systems offer a promising solution. These engineered materials integrate natural or synthetic components to optimize therapeutic delivery. Biocomposite carriers provide diverse functionality, starting with nanogels. Nanogels are three-dimensional networks of cross-linked polymers that have the ability to contain medicines or therapeutic compounds. Nanogels enable sustained and controlled drug release, potentially triggered by physiological cues. Liposomes are made up of phospholipid bilayers that encapsulate medicine without within an aqueous core. Liposomes facilitate targeted delivery of various drugs to specific tissues or cells, minimizing systemic exposure. Micelles, on the other hand, are amphiphilic molecule-based biocomposites. They enhance the delivery of poorly water-soluble drugs and can be directed to the disease sites. While dendrimers are highly branched, distinctly structured biocomposites. They offer precise control over drug loading and release kinetics for tailored treatment regimens. While polymeric nanoparticles are contained in solid biocomposites, they provide sustained drug release and protection while enabling surface modifications for targeted delivery. On the other hand, carbon nanotubes are cylindrical biocomposites composed of carbon atoms. They hold potential for intracellular drug delivery due to their exceptional surface area. Next, quantum dots are semiconductor nanocrystals that, when stimulated, produce light of specific wavelengths. They serve a dual purpose of therapeutic delivery and real-time imaging of drug distribution. Lastly, we have polymersomes. Polymersomes are vesicular biocomposites generated by amphiphilic block copolymers of assembly. They combine the advantages of liposomes and polymer nanoparticles for versatile drug encapsulation and controlled release. Biocomposite drug delivery systems represent a significant advancement. Their ability to achieve controlled release and enhanced stability and specific cellular delivery paves the way for more effective and personalized treatment strategies. In closing, biocomposites represent a significant leap forward in medical materials. This unique blend of ceramics, polymers, and natural fibers offer a powerful combination of properties. Their ability to mimic the body's extracellular matrix makes them ideal for tissue engineering and regenerative medicine. Furthermore, their biocompatibility minimizes rejection risks in implanted devices. But the potential of biocomposites extends beyond these applications. Their ability to control drug delivery paves the way for targeted treatments with fewer side effects. As research and development continues, we can expect even more innovative uses for biocomposites in medicine. This technology holds the promise of personalized, effective, and long lasting healthcare solutions. The future of medicine is indeed bright, and biocomposites are leading the way towards the new era of patient care.